Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I thought that I would just film my eyeshadow collection. I've watched a few videos like this and I was really into them. I like to see what everybody has, and this will give you an idea of maybe what you want to see me use in a video. This is a judgment-free zone. As you can tell, I have a lot of makeup. This is just my eyeshadows. It's a hobby of mine. I love it. It's an art form for me. No judgment. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I've zoomed in and I've kind of broken these up by brand, but this is my Too Faced Eyeshadow Collection Too Faced in Vegas Nay Stardust palette. This is probably one of the first eyeshadow palettes I ever bought. And it came as like a kit, and they're pretty shadows, but I just don't use it. They're not the best quality. They're not as good as my other Too Faced shadows. Here I have the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. It's good. Again, not one of my favorites, but here I have the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. The new Too Faced Sparkling Pineapple eyeshadow palette. That's the inside of it. They're good. They're okay. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. This is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. Some great matte shadows. And then I have the three Too Faced chocolate bar palettes that I have. This is the Too Faced Bonbons palette. Then I have the Too Faced Semi-Sweet chocolate bar palette. And then I have the original chocolate bar palette. And of the two, the Semi-Sweet is my favorite. Alright, here I have all of my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. I don't really use it. That pink champagne shade is like the one shade I use in there that I love. Then I have the Master Palette by Mario. And this palette is amazing. And it was limited edition. And it was such a good eyeshadow palette. Then I have the newer ones. This is Soft Glam, which is what I tend to use on brides if I do bridal makeup, or somebody who likes neutral shadows. Then you have Subculture, which is so controversial, but I do like this palette. I think it's a very interesting take on fall shades. I have Modern Renaissance, and this is like an OG palette of mine. I think this was my first tutorial palette that I ever used. And I also have the ABH Norvina palette, and this is my newest edition. Alright, and here I have my Morphe palettes. I don't have many, but this is the Kathleen Lights and Morphe collaboration. Decent shadows, but yeah. Then I have the Morphe 35O palette. This one has been used and abused and loved. This is my favorite shade of the palette, clearly. And then one of my favorite palettes of all time. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette, the original. Mine is so dusty and crusty. This is another one I use all of the time. And then my last thing that I have from Morphe are all of the Jaclyn Hill Vault collection. This is the Armed and Gorgeous palette. The Ring the Alarm palette. The Dark Magic palette. And the, what is this one called? Bling Boss palette. If you would like to see a tutorial with each of these palettes, let me know. Alright, next I have my palettes that I have from Shop Hush, which is an app or a website that you can use. most of the palettes that you get from Shop Hush are like dupe palettes, and so they are well, dupes for higher end brands. So I have the Aphrodite palette from Bad Habit. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Rose Gold Huda Beauty palette. Then I have the Bad Habit Athena palette, which is also a dupe for a Huda Beauty palette. And my issue, I should say, these are great dupes. So if you don't want to spend full price, I totally suggest these. But there's something in there that can irritate my eyes, and it's only with certain shadows, so it's kind of like a trial and error. But this is the Bad Habit Aurora palette, which is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette that came out last year for Christmas. And I'm definitely glad I got the dupe version of it, but this is a good palette. This is really good. I really suggest that one. And then I have a pressed glitter palette, and this is just the Star 15 color pressed glitter. And that is just what it is, a pressed glitter eyeshadow palette. These are beautiful, but you definitely have to use a glitter glue with them. But it's a neat way to travel with glitter and not have such a mess. Alright, and then here I have all of my Lorac palettes. I have the Lorac Pro Matte palette, and it's just a small all matte palette. There's not a whole lot of variation in this palette, but it's a good travel friendly palette because it's so small and compact. Then I have the Lorac Unzipped Gold palette, and this has some beautiful shimmer shades. My only issue with this is it has probably expired. I don't know. I've had it for so long, but this was also one of my first high-end palettes. And then I have the Lorac Pro palettes. I have Pro 1 and Pro 3. This is the Pro 1 palette. I like these because they have a row of matte and then a row of shimmer. Same thing with the Pro 3. This one's more neutral, but it does have a row of matte and again a row of shimmer. So this is a single shadow from Urban Decay, and this is in the shade Midnight Cowboy, which is just like a champagne-y gold. I got it as a birthday gift. And then this is the Urban Decay, what is this called? Beauty with an Edge, I think is what it's called, or Shadow Box, I'm not sure. Palette, and this is one that I've had and never used. And then here I have the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, which is like a staple for most people. It's a lot of cool tone shades, so I keep it because I don't have many cool tone palettes, and this is a good one to have. Here I have my Kat Von D palettes. I have the Shade and Light palette. This is the All Matte palette, and this was a favorite for a very long time. I still love it. It's still a good palette. You've got your warm tones, your neutral tones, and then your cool tones in the middle. And then here I have the Kat Von D Pastel Goth, and I bought this because it's so different from any other palette that I have. And it really is just pastel colors, but they're beautiful. It's really a spring palette. It was limited edition, you can't get it anymore, but it is a beautiful, colorful palette. Here I have my two Viseart palettes. This is the Neutral Matte palette, and it is just that. It's an all matte palette that is very neutral in tone. These are good shadows, but I don't think that they're worth the money that they are. But this palette I love because it's so jewel toned, and this is the, of course it doesn't have a name on it, but it's something matte, deep mattes, dark mattes, I don't know. But that is it. Beautiful shades again. The packaging is very cheap on these, but it's supposed to be for makeup artists so that they can easily see what they have. Alright, and here I have my Tarte palettes. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette. This is one I got in BoxyCharm, and I have not touched it yet. I've like looked at it, I haven't even swatched it. It's not a bad palette, it's just boring. To say the least, and so I might end up putting it in a giveaway. It's just been kind of sitting in my collection for a little bit, completely untouched. And then I have the original Tartelette palette. This is more or cool tones, neutrally cool tones. Beautiful. Definitely a YouTube made me buy kind of palette. Same with this one. This is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. Alright, and then I have one Smashbox palette, and this was the first ever high-end eyeshadow palette that I got. Well, my Naked 1 and 2 were the first, and then this one was the first one I bought with my own money, and it was loved for quite some time. Very used and abused, but this is a great palette. The brush in here was amazing. But this is the full exposure palette from Smashbox. Alright, here I have my two palettes from Makeup Revolution. This one is the Reloaded Iconic Neutrals 2. And this is very pretty. Very reminiscent of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. Lots of red, peachy pinks, all of that. The shimmers in here are very, very beautiful. And then this is the newest one that I have, and this is the Makeup Revolution, the Emily Edit, the Once. This is in a collaboration with a YouTuber, and this palette is stunning, and it's pretty good so far. I'm still playing with it to really get my, feelings out, but it's different. It's pretty. It has a huge mirror, but it's very heavy and huge. So it's harder to like travel and take on trips with me. Alright, and then I have two from BH Cosmetics. This is the original Carly Bible palette. My mirror is busted in it. But this is just very boring to me now. I bought it because obviously I liked Carly, or I still like her. And I watched her videos and she talked about it and I wanted to support her, and it was very affordable, but it's not one of my favorites. And then I have the BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette, and this is my colorful palette. This is, anytime I want color, this is where I go. These are all a mixture of shimmer and mattes, but it's literally every color that you could think of. And then I have some other colors in other palettes that I can use as well to create any colorful look that I would want. Alright, this is probably my most expensive section and probably one of the smallest that I have, but this is my Natasha Denona collection. This is the Natasha Denona Green Brown palette. Y'all, this is so stunning. I love this. I bought this last year, decided to treat myself, and I love it. I really, really do. Do I think it was worth it? No. I probably would have purchased one of her smaller palettes, but I really do love a lot of these shades in here, and the green and the brown is totally up my alley with some of these teals and everything, but the price tag, man, it's hard to get over and decide if it's really worth it, but they are good shades. Then I have the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset palette, and I love this, and I wish she would come out with so much more of these. For somebody like me who has so much eyeshadow, this is absolutely perfect because it's small. I'll never go through these, and it's the same great quality, and it's so easy to travel with. But like I said, that's the Mini Sunset palette. And then I also have the Natasha Denona Blackest Black. Is it the Blackest Black eyeshadow I've ever used? No. Is it good? Yes. If I need to just travel with any of my other palettes and take a black, this is perfect. Here I have my ColourPop collection. These are all ColourPop single shock shadows or super shock shadows. This is ColourPop Kush, Birthday Wish, Bay, Coconut, Snapdragon, Ibiza, So Chic, Mittens, Liberty, Get Lucky, Sequin, Fringe, I Heart This, and Amaze. I also have two of their pressed shadow palettes. This is the You Had Me at Hello, and I have only swatched it. I have not used it, but it is a very neutral palette, but it's pretty. And then this is the Dream Street palette in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. and I love this palette. Alright, this is just a random assortment. This is kind of like a YouTuber assortment, I guess. These are all YouTubers that have started their own brands. The first one I have right here, this is the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette. This is the Kristen Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. These blend out amazingly. These shimmers are stunning, and there is no fallout in this palette. It is so good. Right here I have the Persona Identity palette. And this is a beautiful palette. It's meant for brown eyes, which I do not have, but I still love it. And I love to use this on people with brown eyes when I do their makeup. Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palettes. I got this in a BoxyCharm. You can see right here. It's such a bright palette. Alright, and then here is another little section that is from BoxyCharm as well. The first one right here is the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Carabina. I don't know. This I talked about this in a BoxyCharm video. I love this palette. The shades down here are beautiful. These shimmers are stunning. This is such a good palette. I'm excited to see what else she comes out with. Beautiful. This is the one I just got recently in my most recent BoxyCharm, and I have been using it and I like it. It's definitely more cool tone, and I'll keep it because it is that way and I don't have many, but this is a great palette as well. This is the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. Here I have the Glam Metals by Crown, and I actually have one of these in a giveaway as well. Mine came shattered and I had to repress it. But this is a great palette to go to for shimmers. Whenever I want a certain kind of shimmer, I know I can look here and find one. Very grungy palette. And then I have two of these Studio Makeup on the Go palettes. One is more neutral in tone, golds, browns, blacks. Very pretty. And then here I have the Studio Makeup on the Go, which is the more mauve one. And this shade right here is stunning. Alright, and here I have my mini eyeshadows that are kind of like just chilling in a basket because I don't really know what else to do with them. I have a bunch of Dose of Colors. This is the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie collaboration. I love this. They just came out with a new palette and I'm really eyeing it. I think I might buy it, but these are so pretty, so stunning. I actually use Harpoon, this green one, all the time. Love it, and I love the packaging. Also from Dose of Colors, this is the Marvelous Mauves palette. And I haven't taken the brush out of here, but the brush is really nice. This is a great palette. I got it in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty for half off. They're very pigmented. They're very soft, so they kind of fall all over the place. But this is a pretty good palette to use as well. And then also from Dose of Colors, I have this Dual Intensity or Eye Duo and Disco, and I use this for girls for prom a lot. Let me swatch it just because it's so pretty. But it's like a base and then a glitter on the bottom, and you can see how blinding it is. It's stunning. Also in here I have this from BoxyCharm. This is a Naked Cosmetics pressed pigment palette. I haven't used it, but it'll be pretty for fall. I have this Blink Electric Eyes palette from BoxyCharm as well, and these are beautiful shimmer shades, very neutral, very easy to use. Here I have the City Mini palette with Shayla and Maybelline. This is pretty. This is one of my favorite fall eyeshadow palettes to use, and this is a NARS Duo, but it's just like a gold and then a copper, and these are the most beautiful shades to use, and just use these in a matte brown in the crease. Stunning. Love this. Perfect for fall. And then I have a Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells trio, and this is a great little trio. I don't use it as much as I used to. I used to use this a ton in college because I thought it was so effortless, and it really made my eyes pop. Alright, and so this is my last little set of eyeshadows, and these are all of my single shadows that I have depotted. In here I've just got some basic shades. These two are from Merle Norman. These are from Merle Norman or Ofra. That one is Makeup Geek. And then in this palette, this is another one that I don't use as much, but it's good shades. Again, mostly Merle Norman. I think these are actually all from Real Norman. And then this is my Z palette that I use all the time and I travel with all the time. I love it because it has a mirror on it. And then I've got my shades that I use. This is Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek. This is Paper Tiger from ColourPop. This is a shade from, or this is ABH Fawn. This is Mocha from Makeup Geek. Cherry Cola. Yeah, Cherry Cola from Makeup Geek. Aubergine from Real Norman. Bitten. Yeah, I'm good. Bitten from Makeup Geek. Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek. This is one from Ofra. It doesn't have a name on the back. This is Now and Zen from ColourPop. This is Tea Garden from ColourPop. Oh, I just straight up dug my finger into that blue shade. This is Glass Ball from ColourPop. This is one from Ofra, again, that does not have a name on it. And then this one is Cosmopolitan, and it is from Makeup Geek. These are two of the dual intensity shadows from Real Norman. Vintage Charm from Real Norman. Another dual intensity shade from Real Norman. This one is Glacier from Real Norman. It's a discontinued shade, but I love it. This one is also from Real Norman. I do not know the name of it. This one's from MAC. I don't remember the name of it. And this is also, that was my doorbell. This is also from MAC, and it's a pressed pigment. But these are my favorite single eyeshadows that I've depotted. So yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed seeing my eyeshadow collection. Let me know if you see anything that you would like me to use in an upcoming video. And yeah, I guess that's going to do it for this video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.